Sure you don't want any water or anything?
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bagel, have you eaten? We got some bagels here, so I can offer you that. I'm just gonna grab a cup of water, and as soon as Dimitri gets back here, we'll... Sorry, we don't have better accommodations here.
Okay.
Do you mind if I keep the door closed? Because we actually have people walking by, and is that cool?
That's
I just want to start again by saying just thank you for coming down and helping us out with this. We really appreciate
whatever
it.
you guys need.
Thank you. I give this kind of spiel to everybody. Just don't take offense to it or whatever. But especially for people that never been in police station or whatever, just know you're obviously not here under
I have a
arrest.
crazy family. I've been to police station
Okay.
before. Not for me though.
Right.
I'm clean.
Okay. Well, you're not under arrest. You can go anytime. You don't have to be here. Thank you for doing this. So let's.
I want to know too.
Yes. I will basically get some basic information from you, and then we'll talk a little bit about Eric. Okay. It's Katrina, K-A.
Trina.
And it's B-N.
B-E-N. Mm-hmm.
And what's your address, I guess, at home? Is there a phone number, I guess? Is there a cell phone number for you? And is there a work number?
Well, yeah. Well, my agent.
That's
Do you
fine.
need my agent?
That's fine. Just in case you change your number at some point or
No,
something.
it's not changing.
Okay, then that's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Why my address?
Huh?
Why my address?
Just because sometimes what happens is like later, let's say 2 years later, we still can't figure out who killed Eric.
Okay.
And something comes up and we gotta ask you a question. You'd be surprised how many people 2 years later have a completely different.
You want my address in Rosedale?
Yeah, sure.
I just picked up my key yesterday.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you moved in the high rise how long ago?
March 11th, I believe.
March 11th. And okay. And how'd you meet Eric?
I met Eric outside, like 2 weeks after I had been there. I think we get off work or get in about the same time. So I usually get off around 6. It takes me a while to get home. And we were walking in, and he asked me if I was a nurse. And we just stood outside and chatted maybe 30 minutes because he was starting some kind of agency, nursing agency, kind of like what I work for. So I'm a basketball fan, and so is he. So that was our connection. The game was coming on that night, and he was like, we can watch it. He asked if I wanted to go to his place, and I was like, well, we can do upstairs at 15th floor. It's a nice community room, big TV. So that's what we did. We met there a lot and watched the games. And about after a while, I gave him my number because we would just all go there all the time. It's like a group of people that go there, and we don't know we don't have mutual friends. I don't really know anybody here, but people knew me when they saw me in the hall because of him, you know. But yeah, there were several people, and one guy in particular that he owed the money to. I'm a little confused, but I think he lives there.
The guy.
But Monday, and I'm skipping around.
Yeah,
but
that's
Monday, we went. I'm sorry. Just ask me whatever.
No, go ahead. Go. If you're gonna
I'm just
jump.
thinking about that.
No, it's fine. Because if we gotta go back, I'll take you back. So don't worry. What were you gonna say?
Monday, Sunday, I was at home and he called. I think he called like, I don't know, maybe he called a lot Sunday. It was just crazy because I saw him Thursday, left him Friday morning, didn't talk to him Friday. We text. Saturday he came by. Sunday, all day. Saturday we missed the OKC game, so I was a little pissed off at that because that's our game. Supposed to see OKC play together. But anyway, he did something else with whoever else.
Right.
So Sunday, I didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere. But every time he called, I was like, no, I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna do something. Just I was a little pissed off. But anyway, he came to my place. It was late. It was after the game. It was like midnight or something. And we spent the night together. He left at like 6:30 when I was getting ready to go to work. And OKC was playing Monday, so we automatically see each other when OKC is playing. So Monday after he got off work, he called. And
what time did you get off work Monday?
6. I always get off at 6. This whole week I got off at 6. Work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
But I think it was about here, maybe 8 something when he called me. Oh man. It was just crazy. He's like so excited. A dumbass calling him yesterday. And I've called him every day. What did I say Monday? $8:12.
So he called you?
He called me at 8:12, and then somebody beeped in. So he said, I'll call you back in 2 minutes. And he called me back at 8:25.
Okay.
And when he called me, like I said, it's a given. We've watched the games together, you know. So it's a given we're watching the game. We already knew that. We talked about it Sunday. We're watching the game Monday, no matter what. So when he called me the first time, it's a definite I'm on the way home. I'll see you in a minute. When he got the beep and called back, it was, do you want to watch the game tonight? You want to watch tomorrow night's game? Oh, we're watching tonight's game. Why are you trying to change, you know? But his excuse was, he said that was his cousin that just called. And then he went to, his manager is leaving, and they're having 2 parties 2 days in a row, Monday night, Tuesday night. He said he wants to go to one, and he was like, well, what night do you want me to go? And I was like, well, we're watching OKC, so you can't go tonight. So that's fine. He came in, and we called back and forth. He told me he was coming in to meet him upstairs, so after he got something to eat. So like 9, I called to see if he was there. I don't know, if you look at you can look through my phone, I don't care. We just do that back and forth. You know, like, are you there yet? You there? You ready? You there? You know.
Right.
So
did he come up to your place, or?
No, I went to his place Monday. Okay. He stayed with me Sunday.
Okay, but Monday you went down to his place to watch the game?
Yeah. So it was a few minutes into the first quarter when I got there.
What time did the game start?
I think it started at 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
And I don't watch time, you know, when I'm with him, but I can tell you, like, it was first quarter this happened, second quarter when that happened, so you can figure it out.
Right.
Okay. So sometime during the first quarter, he called his brother. His brother called him, and I don't know if it's actually his brother because Eric didn't have a heavy accent, but whoever he called, this was a speakerphone call, and he was talking to somebody that had a really heavy African accent.
Okay.
And he said it was his brother, and he actually told this guy that he was with me, you know. So this is what he normally does. He's like, yeah, I'm kicking it with my girl. watching the game like we always do. Okay. Sometime in the second quarter, he said, I did something real stupid a couple of days ago. And I was like, what? He said, I smoked some weed. Like, okay, whatever floats your boat. You know, I know people that smoke weed. I've never had any in my life. Feel free to take a blood sample, hair sample, whatever you need to do. I've never had any. I don't like to be around it, you know. And I kind of said something to that effect to him. And what I actually said was, I was kind of joking, but I was like, I work for the government. I ain't got time to be going down for no weed, you know. He was like, girl, please, I know somebody in the building. You know, I kind of want some. He says, it's in the building. Okay. That was that. A few minutes later, he called someone, and he asked them 2 or 3 times, where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? And then he just hung up. I don't know if they hung up on him. I don't know, but...
What time do you think that calls?
That was during the second quarter. So he was on the phone with me. You go through his phone. We were talking. You can look at the times in here if you want to see the last time he talked to me. And then he had a call with his brother. That was a speakerphone call. If he called someone between me and the brother, I don't know. It was just a time for me to come from the 11th floor to his floor, you know.
So called you first.
So after me, he talked to somebody that was supposedly his brother. Heavy African accent. The next call was for some weed. The next 2 or 3 calls was for some weed. The first weed call, it was a hang-up. He didn't say bye or anything. I don't know if they hung up on him or he hung up on them. I don't know. But he kept asking where they were. And then I didn't ask any questions. You know, I don't deal with stuff like this. I shouldn't have an inquiring mind at a time like that. That's the way I feel.
Okay.
So, a few minutes passed by, and he calls somebody else. This person is either Will or Whip. I don't know. It sounded like he was saying Will at first, and later on it sounded like he said Whip. I don't know.
So that sounds... He initially called somebody who you think lives in the building.
He said the person lived in the building,
but then
definitely.
Called somebody else, sounds like.
Right.
Will or Whip. Okay. And then what happened?
Beginning of the third quarter, he... I know this sounds so stupid, but for real... I just relate stuff to what quarter it was.
Too, so
you know, I don't know what time it was.
That would have been probably... The games usually last about 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking probably a little after 10.
Yeah,
10 and 10:30 then.
So whoever this was, he was speaking code, but I'm not stupid.
Right.
I know what 420 is.
What was the...
You know, 420 is what I picked up on, but it was other shit. I don't know what the hell he was saying.
Okay.
I'm not that cool. I don't know.
He knows all that stuff.
Yeah, he looks like
he probably 420 is already way beyond me.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
So he talks to this person, and it just sounds like they agreed to something. So he gets off the phone. A few minutes pass by, and he says, I gotta bring something to my boy. I'm like, okay, the game's on. He said, I promise we'll be back before the third quarter's over. It's already the beginning of the third quarter, you know. So he said, let's just go. Coming right back. He was so excited, like the whole night. It's so spooky now. He was so, like, abnormally excited to see me.
Okay.
But, so we go and get in his car. And I thought he said on the phone, he said, I'll call you when I get to 7th Street, is what I thought he said. And 7th Street, all I know, is D.C. 7th Street.
He said that to the guy, or the guy said that to him?
He said that. This wasn't on speakerphone. This is just what I heard Eric saying. But before he got off the phone, and I said it sounded like they agreed to something, he was like, yeah, I'll call you when I get to 7th Street. So I guess he was going to go buy the weed from him. So we get in his car. I'm only familiar with the side of the building that I live in.
Which car did you get in?
His Range.
Okay.
He has a Honda, I think, but I've never seen it.
Okay.
I only know that because he paid his insurance bill over the phone. He paid his phone bill. No, he made another call. I'm sorry. I told you there was me, the brother, and then the weed call. He called to pay his insurance, car insurance. So.
Okay.
Which that's probably obviously an 800 number or something. I don't know.
Right.
I forgot about that.
Okay. What else?
So we get in his car, and the first thing he did, the area that we came out of the building downstairs, where you were parked at, he parked there, but on the opposite side of the street, and he walked into that building. And I don't know, maybe that's the entrance to the east side. I don't know, I've never been there.
Okay.
But he went up there for maybe between 5 and 10 minutes, and he came back down, I don't know why he went. He didn't tell me. I didn't ask.
Okay.
I didn't see anything in his hand. We left there and went to the ATM by Giant. And his music was blasting. Just blasting. He was like just so hyped about something. It's just crazy. It's like he was having the best time in his life. And now he's dead. But he went to the ATM. After he left the ATM, he started going down 29.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking we're going to 7th Street. So I finally asked, so where we going? And he said, we're just going right over the hill, just right over the hill. People start talking like that, it made me nervous. You can't tell me where we're going, is what I was thinking. So I started reading street signs. So Prelude is the first sign that I saw, the street that we crossed after that. He made a right onto 650. Like, I've been up and down
Right on
29, but I've never turned off before getting to like going to Cantonsville area, way down 29.
Right.
So he made a turn onto 650. It was really dark. It was like a big curve, and then a right onto Oakleaf, and then there's an apartment complex right there. He went in through
the high rise.
Yeah, it was tall. It was a couple of buildings.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gate that he said you normally go, just drives right up in the gate. Well, the gate was closed, so he said I have to go through the security. So, okay, not a problem, right? So he drives up to the gate, and there's two young, like really dark-skinned African guys working the gate. And the guy asked him, he said, what building are you going to? And Eric said, well, not this one, but that one, just pointing. And the guy kind of looked like, you don't know where you're going,
Mm-hmm.
And he said, 420, just like that. And
He
the guy
actually
said,
told him that?
yeah, he said, at first I was thinking building 420, okay. But then the communications between them after that, because the guy said, oh, okay. And then Eric said, good looking out. So I'm like, okay, 420, I got you, 420.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he came in, he made a right, and he went through the parking lot, like toward the back of the parking lot, made a left, round another curve, and I'm telling you, I'm out here by myself. I'm looking at signs. I'm trying to remember addresses. I didn't know what was happening. He's never, ever done anything like that around me. I didn't know he smoked weed before tonight. I didn't know he was going to go buy. I don't want to be in your car if you're going to go buy weed. I didn't really know what he was doing, but I'm not stupid. I figured he was going to go get some. But anyway, the building he pulled up in front of, it's 235. I think it's 11235 or 12235.
I used to live back in the day. I used to live in that
but
complex.
The numbers on the building, that's what something like that. So I'm looking at him. We're talking about something. He says he's going to get in a car. And I turn, before I can even turn and see who's getting in the car, the back door opened.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy gets in the car, and it was real quick. I mean, the light was on, the whole deal, whatever they did. Eric had money. He gave him the money. I didn't see anything because I wasn't looking. I'm not trying to look and be nosy. But Eric said that's 60. And they started speaking code, and the guy got out. All this happened before the light could even go out in the car. Because I'm thinking, if you're going to do something like this, turn the light out. Somebody might see me. I work at NIH. I don't want to be identified in something like this. So that was it. We left.
Did you see what he took? Was it a bag? What was it?
I didn't see anything. All I know is that Eric, I assume, took the money, and then he said this 60. They did dap, hand stuff, whatever. I was looking straight ahead.
Did you see the guy?
When he got out, I saw him.
Okay.
When he got out and was walking away, I wasn't trying to do this, but Eric pulled off and the guy was walking. I looked back.
What did
he
look
was
like?
Bald, and he's about my color, skinny guy, scruffy beard, thin scruffy beard. But that was just like a profile.
How old do you think he is?
I have no idea.
Well, do you remember what he was wearing?
Blue jeans and t-shirt.
Did he get in the passenger or the driver's
Passenger. He was right behind me.
Right behind you.
Yeah, and because I didn't see his face straight on. I wasn't trying to look at him directly. I'm not trying to look like I want to know who you are.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Eric got some weed at that time. I don't know. Just thinking forward, it doesn't really make sense like the rest of the night. But anyway, he definitely gave him $60 because he said it. He said that's 60. And the guy got the car. We pulled off. Went back to the apartment. And it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. We watched the rest of the game. We chatted. When the game went off, we were just chatting. He was telling me how Wonder Woman bought 2 cars. Her and her husband bought 2 cars at the dealership that day. Yeah. So we went through his phone looking up pictures of Linda Carter because that was like, we're both 34. We remember that, back in the day, Wonder Woman. And he was telling me about, this guy has so many goals and so many dreams. He was telling me about his agency, and he like updates me on stuff every day. So the neighbor was upset with him. The neighbor is supposed to be his partner. She was his partner.
Mm-hmm.
I think she lives to the left. If you're facing his door, I think she's in the apartment to the right.
Immediately?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, and I can tell you why I think, but yeah, I'm pretty sure she's immediately to the right. Because one night we got a little noisy, and the phone rang. He was like, probably my neighbor telling me we too noisy. But then the conversation was nothing about noise. It was just talking about business,
And have you seen Inca?
I have never seen her.
Okay.
I've never seen her.
Okay.
I didn't even know the partner lived next door until that night.
Okay. But that's his partner?
The partner in the business is what he was saying. But on Monday night, he was telling me she's not really a partner. That she just really helped him with one assignment. They had on Friday they met for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And Thursday I spent the night with him. Friday I had to work. So he was telling me what he was going to do Friday. Noon he had to meet with her. And then after that he was going to watch the game with somebody. That was, I think, Miami game. I don't really care about them, so I didn't watch the game with him.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he showed me on Monday where he sent her, I thought it was an email, but he referred to it as an email. Looks like an email, later referred to it as a text. But anyway, doesn't matter. He said she's upset with me. I haven't really talked to her since Friday because she wants to become a partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I thought she was your partner. Mm-hmm. He said, no, she was just kind of helping me with like policies and procedures because she does something. She's, I don't think she's a nurse, but she does something in like the healthcare field, like behind at the desk, you know. So, he said that she asked him to become a partner, like get paid because he wasn't paying her. And I didn't see anything wrong with it. I'm like, sounds like she's doing some work. He said, well, read this and tell me what you think about it. So he hands me the phone, shows me the email. It was very professional. Mm-hmm. It looked like an email to me.
Okay.
And he said it was an email, but later in the conversation he referred to it as a text. So it's in his phone.
Right.
Just look at his phone. But it was very professional. It took up the whole screen on his phone. It was like his phone was like the same size as mine, and it was professional. He basically told her he didn't want to make her a partner. He wanted to keep the structure simple, and it was a lot said, but it was all professional. He let her down easy.
Okay.
And he said after that he didn't hear from her at all, so he sent her a text asking, "Did you get my text?" That's when he referred to it as a text. Mm-hmm. And her response was just yes, and that was it.
Okay.
And he hadn't talked to her in a few days, so they weren't on the best of terms. But that was it. We went to bed. I went to sleep. Around 2, I was awakened by, I don't even know what time I went to bed, but excuse me if this is too much information, but we had sex for a while, and I went to sleep. So when I woke up to him talking to somebody, and it was a guy. And I don't know how he knew I was woke. Maybe I coughed or something, I don't know. But I rolled over, and he opened the bedroom door. He came in, and as he opened the door, I could see who I think is the guy from the apartment, like, walk by to go to the couch. So that's who he was talking to. And I asked him what time it was. He didn't have a clock or anything.
So I just want to get it right. So you wake up, he's not in bed?
No, he's not in the bed. I knew he was on the computer.
Oh, he was
before I went to sleep, he told me he was going to get on the computer.
Okay.
So I don't know. He just came in the room to see what I was doing. I don't know. He's very, very attentive. But when he opened the door, I could smell weed. He's smoking. Mm-hmm. He's smoking, and I was just kind of like, don't do that around. I don't want to smell like, I don't want my hair smelling like.
Where is he at? Where he's smoking? Like, where is he at?
He was smoking in the front. So when the door opened, I could smell the weed. I could see the guy. I can see the thing in his hand. It was like he had a clear, like, I don't know, Gatorade bottle or something that was empty that he was putting the ashes in.
So who's this guy?
I don't know who that is, but it looks like the guy that was at the apartment. But I think I've seen him in the building.
What do you mean it looks like the guy that
The
was
guy at Oakleaf?
Yeah, yeah. It looked like him. I mean, I didn't get a good look at
So it
him.
looked
He
like
just,
the 420 guy.
right. I didn't get a good look at him because he just like walked by when the door was being opened.
But he was also smoking?
I didn't see
Or-
the guy smoking.
Oh, so
I don't know.
So when you're saying the clear bottle, that's all Eric.
That's all Eric. Yeah.
But the guy's there definitely.
He's there.
If you think back, is he wearing the same clothes? You know. Okay, that's fine. Keep going.
So I was like, "You're smoking? You know, I don't want to smell like weed. Like I'm black. I'm not gonna go home in a minute and wash my hair and get ready for work all that quick. I'm not gonna, you know." I asked him what time it was, and he said it was 2. Okay. So he put the thing out. I asked him to put it out, and he put it out. He said, "I'll be right back." He went out and put it out. He came back and didn't have it. But when he went out to put it out, the guy was. This is how I know I think he owed him money because he was saying, "I have to go to the ATM. I'll go in a minute. I'll go in a minute." And I couldn't understand what the guy was saying. It wasn't an argument. It just sounded urgent, if that makes sense. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So Eric comes back in the room. He's not smoking anymore. Doesn't have anything in his hand. And he just lays across the bed. You know, and I was like, "Do I need to leave? Like, you got to go somewhere?" He's like, "No, you cool. I got to go by the ATM for him before I go to work in the morning." I just heard him say he's about to do it in a few minutes to him. But he's telling me he's going to do it in the morning. Okay. He was like, "It's fine. Just go back to sleep." Okay. He didn't want me to leave. I assumed this guy was going to leave. I don't know. Eric just laid across the bed, and apparently I fell asleep. When I woke up again, Eric wasn't in the bed. It was 4 something then, because when he came back in the room, I asked again what time is it. He said 4:30. But I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anybody in the front. So I assumed the guy was gone. I stayed in the bed. He comes get in the bed, and around either it had to be right at 5. It had to be right at 5.
Mm-hmm.
Eric's in the bed, and I hear somebody using the bathroom. So the guy's still there, obviously. He used the bathroom. I'm a nurse, so I'm gonna notice if you use the bathroom, you don't wash your hands. So he used the bathroom. I didn't hear any water running afterwards. He used the bathroom, and then he came and turned the dryer on. He was like in the closet, and he turned the dryer on. So I'm thinking that's kind of disrespectful. You know, I have to work. Eric had to work that day, told me I had to go to work at 9. Why are you doing laundry at whatever time it is in the morning? You know, I'm not dressed. So the door from between the bedroom and the closet was cracked a little. So I get up and put clothes on. I'm like, I'm just going to go. I don't even know what time it is, but it was 4:30 when Eric told me last. I'm just going to go. I usually leave 5 something anyway. Start getting ready for work. So I go through the closet to the bathroom. Look at the dryer. There's nothing in the dryer. There's nothing even in the dryer. I don't even know why the dryer is on. So I use the bathroom, and I crawl back in the bed. I kiss Eric. He's letting me sleep that hard. He didn't budge. So I just left. He hates when I leave without waking him up. But the dude was there. I just left. You know, it was just a little uncomfortable. Let me go. He just seemed a little weird.
Was he sleepy when you left?
He was asleep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He didn't even budge. He doesn't even sleep that hard usually. If I move, he moves. Why are you not asleep? You know, if I move, he moves. He's usually.
Which side of the bed was he on?
He was on the left side. I always sleep on the right side, like by the door. I sleep by the door.
You sleep by the closet?
The closet
side?
door. He was on the other side of the bed,
Okay.
like by the window.
Okay.
So I crawled back in the bed and I kissed him, and I went back through the closet and out the bathroom because then I assumed the guy was on the couch. He didn't have a whole lot of furniture. I assumed the guy was on the couch. And as I walked out the door, he pretty much helped me close the damn door. You know, like, get the fuck out. And when I felt the nudge on the door, I thought it was Eric coming behind me because he usually walks me to the door and locks the door. But
you didn't see him come up behind you, like to the front?
No. I went out the
the bathroom
door.
and immediately made a right.
Yeah, like I wasn't trying to see him or anything. I was just trying to leave. So I walked out the bathroom door and grabbed the front door. And as I was going out like this, like my hand is pulling the door to, the door started pushing up. like somebody's trying to help me close the door. You know, I thought it was Eric trying to come to the door, like, where you going? But I saw like this side of the guy. I just thought it was an Eric. It's his little skinny arm. So he was closing the door with his right hand, and I saw his arm.
Any tattoos or anything?
I didn't notice any tattoos. I don't know. I didn't notice a watch. Doesn't mean it wasn't there. I just wasn't looking for it. You know.
Was it
Skinny
definitely a black arm?
Oh yeah, it was a black guy, a skinny guy. Yeah, but the guy, when he walked by the door, he was bald and little scruffy. I don't really know. I mean, I've seen this. I didn't see his face. What I saw was the profile at the Oakleaf place, and pretty much profile when he walked by the door when Eric opened the door.
And both those profiles you think are similar?
Yeah, it looked just like him to me. Okay. And I think I've seen the guy in the building, like on the 15th floor, like watching ball with us. Like a lot of people know us from being in there watching the ball games, you know? But I was kind of confused because he was at the, like, I don't know if he lives there, if he lives at the Oakleaf place. I don't know. I don't know. But I got to work and I text Eric. I don't even know what time it was, but let me go back and see. I can't believe this.
I'll be right back.
All right.
And the like text thing that he showed me, it was like dated or email. It was dated the 1st. I'm just looking at this text messages. 8:23.
You got to work?
No, I get to work at like 7:15, 7:30. I text him at 8:23. And I mean, I don't care if you read this. Maybe a little inappropriate, some of it, but I don't care. But no, that's not inappropriate. I kept it clean on that one. But I did put, like, dude almost hit me in the ass with the door when I left. LOL, you know.
You see that?
Right here.
Wow, that's crazy.
And he never responded to my text, which during the day when we both work, it may be a little delayed. You know, we respond to each other, so that wasn't odd. But the thing is, he never called me back that day. He never texted me back that day. And I'm like, we never, like, we're cool. Like,
right.
I don't know. I was going to Society Lounge that night, and he was supposed to go into this manager's party. You know, he didn't go Monday because he gave me the option, you want to watch the game tonight or you want to watch the game tomorrow. I'm going to Society Lounge. You do what you want to on Tuesday, you know.
Right.
Because I'll be at Society Lounge for reggae night. So, you know, I didn't talk to him. I knew he had stuff to do after work. I just assumed I'll talk to him tomorrow. Tomorrow came. I've texted him every day. Today's the first day I didn't text him. Because I sent a mean text yesterday saying, if I don't hear from you before I leave, because he was supposed to help me move yesterday. And I was like, if I don't hear from you before I leave, pretty much fuck you. You know, you're not even gonna tell me. You're not gonna help me move, like, so I can make other arrangements.
Did you not see, like, the police around and, like?
I saw I know it wasn't Thursday. I saw maybe Wednesday when I got off work. I came in. There were 2 police cars. There were no lights or anything. There were 2 police cars when I came in. I think Wednesday. But that was it. You know. I don't know.
Does that look familiar?
Yes.
Who is that?
It looks like him.
Him being...
The 420 guy. You already know, don't you?
That's the guy that you saw at the Oakleaf that got in the back seat, and that's the guy you saw in the apartment in the morning.
His hair, he didn't have as much hair.
Well,
but
this,
yeah, it
this
was
picture
scruffy.
is not that.
Yeah, he was like, he didn't have as much hair, but this is this nasty beard.
That's a.
Oh.
You're pretty confident
What
that's the
happened?
person. I got it.
You asked me if I saw the police. Can y'all just please tell me what happened?
Well, like I said, I mean, I think I told you that he was murdered. we still trying to put the timeline together, but obviously we thought you were one of the last people to have, been with him.
Mhm.
But now, you're telling us that when you left, this guy's with him.
And you've seen this guy in the building, like at 15th floor? Is that the same guy you've seen up there?
Can I see the face picture?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks pretty rough. Yeah.
Now, when you said, I think on the way here, you said he owes somebody some money. What were
Because
you referring to?
because he was talking about the ATM,
Okay.
going to the ATM, and we went to the ATM already.
Okay. So it's not like you heard an argument about him.
It wasn't an argument.
Okay.
It was just like I don't even know if it makes sense. I don't know how else to say it, but it wasn't like they were arguing. They were talking about it, and it just sounded like it was urgent. And Eric's a talker,
Mm-hmm.
He was just kind of like, yeah, man, I'll do it. Give me a minute. And then he told me I'll take them in the morning before I go to work. I'm like, you just told me. Because I was like, I can go back to my apartment, I'm good. But he was like, no, you okay, go to sleep. So, I mean.
Well.
What did, can you describe, like, the living room?
Yeah.
Eric's, yeah. He had 2 leather couches, tan. The long one's against the back. You walk into the apartment, the kitchen. The long one is against the back of the wall. The shorter one is against the window, like in front of the window.
Okay.
The radio was in the bedroom because when I come over, we put the radio in the bedroom.
Is that the tall one?
Mm-hmm.
The iPod stand?
Mm-hmm.
What about...
It usually sits between the 2 couches.
Does he have, what about any other, like...
tables or anything?
Decoration?
No tables. He was supposed to give me that damn girl in the kitchen. I
so
love
the girl
that.
was in the kitchen?
Yeah.
I think it was a table at some point.
He's going to give me the girl, huh?
I think it was a table at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that. I thought that was a
Really?
beautiful piece of art.
But he moved into the kitchen that day?
No, it's been in the kitchen all the time since I've been hanging out with
Okay.
him.
When you guys were watching the game, were you sitting on the sofa, or where
We were on the couch. I always sit on the side where, I don't know, maybe an upside down box or something, but
Yeah.
it's something right there.
Did you have a blanket or anything?
Yes, I had a sheet, a brown sheet.
Okay.
Yeah. He always gives me the little sheet because I'm cold. I'm always cold.
Okay.
What about a vacuum cleaner? Remember seeing a vacuum cleaner anywhere?
He had my vacuum. But there's a box. Was that a vacuum box?
Right.
He had my vacuum.
That was your vacuum? Or the box?
No. He uses my vacuum.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't know what was in the box. But it was in the way. It was like right there in the door.
Okay.
It was in the way. Yeah. Because I was thinking he must have bought a vacuum. Because he had been borrowing mine.
Do you remember what, if anything, he was wearing when you last saw him when he was sleeping?
Eric. I think he only had his underwear on. He might have put a t-shirt on. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think he only had his underwear on.
Okay.
He usually doesn't sleep with a t-shirt on, but I don't know. The guy was there, so.
Not to be whatever, but did he wear a condom when you guys?
Oh yeah, we always wear condoms.
All right.
Yeah. I don't care. You can ask me whatever. I don't care.
So you said, if I recall, the first time you woke up, you heard this guy in the bathroom.
No, the first time I woke up, they were in the front talking.
Okay.
Eric opened the door, and I saw the guy walk by.
Okay. But at some point, you thought he used the bathroom?
Oh yeah, right before I left. He
Had
came.
to flush?
Right. He didn't wash his hands. He left there and came into the closet and was doing something, stumbled on something because the place is not that clean, so he tripped on something. Just like I tripped on something going to the bathroom. And he turned the dryer on. I thought he was doing laundry.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in the dryer. I walked by to go to the bathroom like, the fuck is he doing? There's nothing in the dryer.
Do you know if Eric had any valuables, any jewelry?
Eric had a lot of shit. I mean, Eric was
Something
fancy.
would want to steal. Jewelry,
I don't know.
stash of cash. Did he have any drugs in the
I don't think he
closet?
had any cash because he had to go to the ATM. Drugs, I don't think he... The weed was new to me. I can't see
That's the
I
first
couldn't see
time
him. Yeah,
you saw him with any weed or talking
yeah.
about weed and all that.
Because he
was that
told me, he
night.
was like, I did something stupid a few days ago. I smoked some weed. You know, I mean, I don't know if that's something you always did, but
Mhm.
that was the first time he mentioned it to me, you know.
Do you know where his phone was at? Was it charging? Was it?
I don't know. But whenever I asked him what time it was, he always looked at his phone. Last time I saw it was in his hand. He looked at his phone.
What kind of phone did he have? Or
It was like mine, but smaller.
was it black or gray or dark color like that?
It was in a blue case.
Blue case.
Hmm.
How about a
But
wallet? Did he carry a wallet?
I don't know. I don't know. He always had money like laying on the counter though, so I don't know if he.
How much money?
Oh, I don't know. Like before
like,
going to his
what-
apartment, like how you go in and you empty your pockets, it'd be like
Yeah.
$1 or $2
Oh,
just
okay,
laying on the
yeah.
counter. So I don't know if he actually carried a wallet because his
Right.
money would always be loose.
Did you
But
guys?
there was no money there that night.
Did you guys eat or drink anything that day?
He actually went got I'd already eaten. I take late lunches at work.
Mm-hmm.
Like 4:30. I get off at 6. I may eat 4:35, 5:30, or just leave early.
Mhm.
He had actually went and got something to eat from somewhere near, and he had a half a sandwich in the fridge for me, but I don't eat hardly, so I didn't eat it. So my sandwich was in the fridge. But he told me that it was like a burger. He was eating a burger. And he said, I have half a sandwich in there for you. He's always trying to make me eat something. I just lost 15 pounds. I'm good.
What about drinking anything?
We always drink wine.
So,
I drink Moscato. I brought my own wine glass from my apartment.
did you take it
Moscato.
back, or is it still?
I took my wine glass back. I would take my wine glass back. He had red wine, I believe.
Did he get that bottle that night?
Yeah, he told me he was buying. He always has red wine. He always has wine. But before he came in, he told me he was downstairs buying some wine. So when I called, actually, he was messing with me. Because one time when I called him, I can tell you what time it was. Because he was supposed to be there in like 5 minutes. And I called to see if he was there. And he was like, I'm downstairs getting wine. And at first when I called him, he said, I'm not going to be able to make it. So I was kind of pissed. He said, no, I'm just playing. I'm downstairs getting wine.
Okay.
So let me see what time that was. I don't know if it matters if you want the time. But it had to be the 906 or 918 call. Because there's a 906, 918, 928. Oh, wait, one of these, no. Had to be 906 and 918 because 928 he called me. So, yeah, he bought wine and he came in with food.
What was food in? What was it in a container bag? What was it in?
He put it on a plate. By the time I got up there, he had the food on a plate.
Okay.
And he was telling me it's a burger, you have half a sandwich. I gave you half my sandwiches in the fridge.
Okay.
Was he on Oak Leaf?
Who?
You guys, he got murdered on Oak Leaf. Because you already know.
No.
Well, I think we can tell it where it happened.
He was killed in his apartment.
I saw you ask me about the police.
Yeah.
That was like Wednesday though, when I saw the police.
Well, we've been there every day since.
So I don't know. I mean, this is all Monday night. I don't know. This is.
Well, yeah, Monday night to Tuesday morning, right?
Yeah.
Again, just to be clear, do you think you've seen this guy in the building before that night on the 15th floor?
I think I have. I mean, I just remember. I hate facial hair, so I remember.
It's pretty distinctive.
Yeah, I remember facial hair. And when we watch the games up there, it's usually dim. Like, we dim the lights, and it's just like movie night or something. Everybody just watches. You know, it's always like 2, 3 people
Did you
other
see
than us.
Eric interact with him up there ever?
Eric interacts with everybody.
Right.
He talks to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I'm clear too. What time do you think he showed up? You would know because you
It
woken
was
up to him
he
being
was there at 2. When we went to bed, I don't know what time the game went off. 11 something maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We chatted for maybe, I don't know, maybe another 30 minutes. We chatted. We went to bed. Sex for maybe 45 minutes, and I went to sleep.
And then like we're thinking that he bought weed on Oak Leaf, right? But he didn't smoke any weed when he got back with
No,
you.
he didn't.
The
He
first
didn't
time he
smoke any weed.
smokes weed is when you wake up in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., whatever that.
And see, I was unsure what. It didn't make sense to me because I was thinking, why is he here? We just left him there, like, and I was kind of figuring, okay, he must live in the building because I was already thinking he kind of looked familiar when I saw the profile and he was going back into the apartment, and it was just, did you guys talk to him?
We can't really tell you what's going on with the investigation, and the reason is because you're a witness. And
Oh my God.
we can't influence.
Oh my God. Okay, I have a question.
Your recollection of things is why. Okay.
Okay, understand. I'm sorry. I just
I'm sure you have a million questions.
I understand. Y'all can ask me whatever. I don't care what you need. Whatever I can remember. Did he make any calls on Tuesday? Am I the last person? Can you tell me that? I mean, I don't know if he stopped calling me or if he wasn't answering because he was dead. Because I've been depressed and suffering and mad and crying because I'm thinking he's not talking to me. We've been like this.
It's
just to settle my heart, you know.
I think your heart can be settled.
Yeah.
That whatever you were feeling was real. As far as how the chemistry.
We're gonna step out for a few minutes. Just gather your thoughts real quick. You sure? Do you want anything? Water or anything? Soda? Or... You sure? Okay. Let us step out for a few minutes and we'll be right back. Okay. We're just finishing a few things, okay? And we'll take care.
I have a question. You were asking me about furniture and stuff. Was stuff knocked over? And I mean, this guy is small. I don't know how you could have overpowered Eric.
I can't really. When it's like I think I told you before. When it's all over, I will personally sit down with you and explain everything. But right now we just can't. He's so much smaller than
Eric. I don't know how you could have overpowered Eric. Okay.
It's just the reason I asked is because that statue in the statue.
It seemed out of place.
It seemed out of place.
It does. I thought it should have been in the bedroom. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I know it was a table before. That's another reason why I asked. Because it was a glass table actually. Okay. I'll keep the door open. Okay?
I'm still texting him.
Do you actually? What I want to do is take a picture of the one message you sent him that says, "Dude, almost hit me with the door." I'll bring a camera.
You can do it. Okay. All of them. You can read all of them.
Sure.
I was still texting him. I text him every day.
Here's the thing. Do you have your new apartment already? You do. You got the keys and everything. All right. I can't say for sure that this guy stayed behind and did it. But it's a possibility, okay? And we don't want you obviously to be in the building right now.
Think about that.
So, what we'll do is we'll drive you back. We'll help you get whatever you need, and then we would want you to go for a couple of days until I give you a call. Okay? Is that cool?
I was I have to be at the apartment. What's today's date? I don't even know.
Today's the 9th.
By tomorrow. So that's all.
We'll talk to the management to make sure you get a couple of days or whatever. Okay? Let me take that. I'll take some pictures out there. That's all his messages?
Yeah, between me and him. This is the first one I sent Tuesday.
I'm sorry.
Tuesday morning, but all of this is like me messaging him.
That's fine.
Thinking he's just ignoring me, so you can take it all. If I would have known, I could have just printed it for you.
Okay. All right, I'll be right back, okay?
Just in case.
Thank you. I don't even know your names.
I'm Mark, and that's
Mark.
Dimitri.
Thank you.
You know what? I'll be right back. I just gotta grab my camera, okay?
I can print this stuff for you guys.
You can?
There's some way that I can print it. I've printed text before.
Really?
I have to figure it out, but I can do
Okay,
it.
but you know what?
I mean,
it
you
doesn't
can take a
disappear.
picture of it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You asked about eating. Like there was, I remember lots of dishes in the sink, but that was like from whatever company he had over Friday and Saturday, I think.
I keep hitting some button on it. Okay.
I don't even know if you can tell me this, but has he been buried yet? Do you know?
No. He hasn't. I will try and...
I want to go.
Okay. Before we leave, I'll give you my card with my cell phone number on it, and we'll keep in touch, okay? Where's that? I kind of lost that message. Is it all the way down?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
See, I have a BlackBerry, so I don't have a touch screen. I keep touching the screen and. Okay.
No, I want to go see him again. I want to woke him up. Oh. God. mm.
All right, just give us a few more minutes, okay?
You just have a seat there and he'll be right with you, okay?
Thanks.
Sure.
Hey, Trina.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Tired.
You got your makeup on today, huh?
Yeah, I have my makeup on today.
I remember you telling them, never leave the house without the makeup.
Never.
All right, so what do you want us to turn in?
I have 5 keys.
5.
4, yeah. This is the little thing you wanted, and this is for the garage.
Wow, they actually printed the number on it.
It's for the garage, so I don't know if that goes to them at the desk or to the garage.
Yeah, we'll give it to Wanda.
Okay.
And that's fast.
That's just what I hung on
Okay.
the thing. I don't think they need that.
How's your new place?
It's okay. It's boring.
So everything's out your apartment. I can just show them clean. All right. All right.
Do you have more questions?
Yeah. Do you have some time? Okay, cool. All right. So we're still like in the middle of things.
Okay.
And like I told you before, you shed so much light on Eric that we haven't gotten from a lot of people. And we were just talking right before you got here. I told Mark that you'll return the key, and he was like, "Let's," because you'll be all the way in Baltimore County, and this will be like our only opportunity while you're here to maybe just go over the story just maybe one more time. Maybe you just remember something just a tiny bit more that might give us we need to arrest the
Is there
person
something
responsible.
in particular you just want to know? Because that's everything that I said before. You can ask me anything.
Really, I think if you could kind of go through the story again over the last, I think it was like Thursdays where you started with him last Thursday, and just day by day, and we'll fill in some details if you can as you go, because we're trying to establish like everybody he talked to, was with,
Is this a camera?
place he went.
Yeah.
You guys recorded it, right?
The first one?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
We have follow-up questions from your first
Okay,
one.
well, just ask me what you want me to know, because I don't want to go through all this again. That was a long time. I don't want to go through it all again. You can just ask me directly. I don't care. Ask me anything.
All right.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. Again, I'll just be, we're looking at this 420 guy, right? Obviously, for obvious reasons. I told you we were watching him, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever seen Eric make a phone call to the 420 guy before?
No. If he did, I didn't know.
Okay. So I think Thursday you said he was at your place. He doesn't.
No, Thursday.
Because we're going through his
Sunday
phone
he was
records.
at my place.
Okay, so Sunday was at your place.
Right. Thursday I was at his place.
Friday
morning I left his place. Friday I actually called him. He didn't answer. He texted me. I didn't talk to him at all Friday after I left his place.
All right.
So I don't know what he did Friday night. He told me he was hanging out with the boys. I don't know what he did Friday night.
Okay, well, Saturday.
Saturday I saw him at 8 something.
In the morning?
At night.
I think he said he was watching the game or something.
He was going to go watch the game with the boys again. So I don't know what he did Saturday. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, do you think he went with the boys Saturday night?
I doubt it. I don't know. He may have. He hangs out a lot. I don't know. He may have.
Because I get that. We know he was with another woman Saturday night.
He probably was. Because he doesn't. Because Saturday night was OKC night.
Right.
So I'm like, he doesn't cancel OKC with me for the boys. So he probably had a hot date. I said before when I was here, he probably had a hot date. Saturday.
Right. He was with another woman at Society. Saturday night.
I believe
she was like a little bit heavy set Hispanic lady. Do you know anything about her? Okay. And I think before you mentioned something about Friday, he went to lunch with someone.
Yeah, the neighbor. He said he had lunch with the neighbor.
And that was the would-be business partner or
right.
whatever.
And he showed me the email that he sent to her that was dated June 1st.
Okay.
That's why I was saying if you go to his phone, you'll see it.
Okay.
Text or whatever it was. It looked like an email to
Did he? I mean, did he ever talk about how she took that news?
So we're going through the story regardless all over again.
Well,
he said she didn't like it. You know, he didn't talk to her after that. He sent her a text saying, "Did you get my text that I sent you?" And that's what I was saying. He referred to it as an email. It looks like an email. And then when he was telling me he sent her a text, it changed from email to a text. Either way it goes, it's in his phone. But he said when he sent her the text saying, "Did you get my text?" She said yes, and that was it. Just a one-word answer, and that was it. He hadn't heard from her since then. And that was sent on well, I saw the email that was dated June 1st, which was Friday. So this was Monday night when he was telling me this. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Apparently, she was upset. I mean, I've never heard him say anything negative about her. But
in all the other times that you spent the night at his place, was there ever anybody else there like that night with the suspicious dude in and out? Never. That was the first time. So.
I just want to ask one. Alright, we did forensic stuff with all the stuff that was on the table. Mm-hmm. That's why we're asking you about the food, just in case the I mean, we don't know if it's the 420 guy in the apartment, but let's say we're assuming that it's the 420 guy in the apartment. Did you see him touch any food? Did you see him touch any plates, glasses, anything?
The 420 guy?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I wasn't even in the front. I was in the bedroom the whole time.
What about like when you're there with Eric before he shows up? What's Eric drinking?
Eric was drinking red wine.
Okay.
From a wine glass. He was eating from, I don't know if it was a hard plate or paper plate he got from somewhere else. He was eating a burger and some other stuff that he got before he came in.
And what are you drinking?
I was drinking Moscato out of my wine glass that I brought with me.
Okay. Did he have the wine, Moscato, is that what it's called?
That's what I was drinking. He was drinking red wine.
But I mean, he had it. Oh, you brought it from your apartment.
I was drinking my wine before he even came. Like he has wine. Eric keeps wine.
Right. But you just basically brought a glass with you?
Yeah, I brought a glass. Like when we go to the 15th floor, we both bring a glass of wine. Like he brings his glass, I bring my glass.
Okay. So that day when you showed up, you just showed up with a glass of wine, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And food, you said there was a sandwich or something?
He told me there was a half a burger in the fridge that he bought for me, but I didn't want anything to eat, but he bought it anyway. But I didn't even go to the fridge.
He brought it from that store, do you know?
I don't know.
So brought a sandwich for you, but you didn't eat?
He just said it was half of a burger in the fridge for me.
Okay. And you just had the one glass of wine. You didn't have any of his wine, so your prints will not be on the bottle. I don't drink his wine.
I don't even like hot taste. It has to be sweet. He doesn't drink sweet wine.
Okay.
When you woke up, I think you said you woke up the first time he's talking to someone. You believe that's the guy? He wasn't on the phone? He was having a personal
No, I could hear two people.
Okay.
That's how I knew there was someone in the front.
Can you remember specifically anything they were saying?
He was just talking about he was saying they were talking about the ATM, like going to the ATM to get some money, and Eric said he would do it. I'm gonna do it in a few minutes or something like that. And then he came into the room with smoking and went out and put it out because I said I didn't like it. And he came back and crawled into bed and said he would do it before he went to work. Like, I just Googled this yesterday. I didn't even know he got shot. I didn't know he didn't go to work Tuesday. I didn't know, like, you guys didn't even tell me that, and it was in the news. Like, I don't watch the news.
I thought,
that's
we
little
told
stuff.
You, and maybe we didn't. I thought we just told you he was killed.
We tried to keep...
You told me he was killed, and you asked me about furniture, and I assumed stuff was turned over. Because I asked you, was it turned over when you showed me the picture of the guy that looks like him? Yeah, I said, but that guy is skinny. I'm like, I didn't know how he could overpower Eric. I'm thinking somebody beat him to death or something. I didn't know he had been shot.
we try to keep witnesses' memories as pristine as possible. And unfortunately, the media gets a hold of things, and we always advise people not to watch the news or read the papers because that can affect your memory. You know, if you see things and go, oh, well, you might start making assumptions about what happened, and it's not necessarily true. That's why we don't tell witnesses the details, because we're relying on your memory. Okay? As far as this conversation, I know it's hard, and I hate to drag you through this again, but you know, I think we all want the same thing here, and that's to catch the person responsible for this, and so we have to ask all these tough questions. But as far as that conversation, can you really rack your brain about specific things that were said? Was there a specific amount of money they were talking about?
I never heard
Anything that the other guy said specifically or generally?
I couldn't even really hear him. It was just like he just sounded like he was ready to do this and go. He just sounded like he was in a hurry. Like it wasn't an argument. It just sounded like he was, let's do this. And Eric was like, okay, I'm gonna do it in a minute. I'm gonna do it. And then, like I said, he crawled into bed and was like, he's gonna do it in the morning. I just heard him say he was going to do it in a little bit,
Mm-hmm. How long after he crawled into bed did you fall back to sleep? Like in that time before you fell asleep, could you hear or observe anything the guy was doing in the other room? Was he watching TV?
The TV was on.
Was he talking on the phone? Anything at all? Was the bedroom door closed?
Eric closed the bedroom door when he came in.
All right. And then when you leave, you're walking, you go through the bathroom to the front door, and explain again how he shuts the, you don't see him until you're like almost out the door, is that?
Yeah, I didn't even know he was coming up behind me because the box was in the way. Like there's a big box that was maybe up to my hip was in the way. So I went through the closet, the bathroom, and going around the box and trying to be quiet because I know the guy's in there. I'm trying to be quiet, not to disturb him. I wasn't looking for him. That's no reason for me to look that way. I'm going out the door. So I'm going around the box, open the door, and he comes up behind me at some point and helps me close the door, pretty much.
Did he grab the door anywhere? Do you remember?
He apparently had to be touching it. I don't know. He was shutting the door. He was touching it somewhere.
So you got out from the bedroom, through the closet, and out that way. And he came up somewhere from the living room area, and we on the way to touch the door. Alright.
I just saw his arm.
And to the best of your memory, about what time was that, as specific as you can remember?
It had to be 5-something. It was definitely 5-something, because I usually get up around 5:30ish to go. My alarm usually goes off around 5:30. And my alarm went off after I'd been in my apartment.
How long after? Just like 5 minutes or 30 minutes? Or I think it was closer to 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Well, it would have been before 5:30,
maybe it was
right?
15 minutes after I'd been in my apartment. I'm not sure.
So
but that's early for me. I never leave Eric's place that early. So I was disturbed by the guy coming in. I wasn't even dressed. I just got up and left,
Did you ask Eric, who is this guy? What's going on? Why is this guy here?
Mm-hmm. I just said, you got company, or, what are you doing or something? I don't remember exactly. He was like, he's cool. I just got to go, take him to get some money in the morning.
Right. What time did you leave for work that morning?
I needed to get gas. I left early. I got ready early because I left his place early, and I needed to get gas. When I left to get gas, I realized I left my phone. So I had to turn around and come back. So I don't know what time it was, but it was 6-something.
You left your phone at your apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have it when I was at Eric's place. I didn't have it.
Okay. So after you came back, got the phone, it was 6-something when you left?
No, it was 6-something when I left out.
Okay.
Period. It had to still be 6-something.
And
Yeah, I didn't even get gas.
When you left the first time and then came back to get your phone and left again, did you notice anybody like around the lobby or anything like that?
I don't even know if the concierge was there. I don't know.
Did you go out the front door both times?
No, I never go out the front
You
door. I
usually
go out.
out.
I'm usually parked on 7.
Where we saw you, is that the door you
That's
usually
usually
go
where
out?
I park. Every now and then I park on the lower level. Like,
Okay.
every now and then I'll park on the lower level. But even when I park on the lower level, I don't go out the front door. I go out the back hall. But you have to come in the front door. So whenever I come in on the first level, I have to come in the front door. You can't get in through the back.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back, I came in through the front door. I didn't see anybody.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I did. I wasn't trying to remember. I don't know.
But nobody does. I mean, you're pretty.
There's usually
attuned to
people
stuff,
out
it
there
seems
that's
like.
waiting on the bus and stuff, but I don't remember.
You didn't get that same like suspicious sense you had with the 420 guy at Oakleaf, right?
There's no
About
reason.
anybody. You didn't see
No,
anybody
there's no reason.
like lurking around or anything.
Mm-mm.
Okay. And then was it a regular day at work? You could whatever your 8-hour shift or whatever, and then no word from him at all during the day. And
I text him. You can look at my phone. It's still there. I text him a couple times.
okay.
And like I said, it usually takes just regular. When you text somebody at work, sometimes they text right back, sometimes they don't. You know, it wasn't abnormal. But when he didn't text me all day, then, I was just kind of thinking, I'll call him later. And I sent him a text saying, I'll call you before I go to society. And he didn't answer. So, I don't know. Maybe he's out again. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't recall what you said about Sunday. Did you guys spend Sunday night together?
We did.
Do you remember what he did Sunday prior to meeting with you? Like, what time did you guys get together Sunday?
He didn't come to my place. He's never come to my place this late. But he didn't come to my place until right after midnight. And he had been calling me all day Sunday.
Yeah, I remember
like,
you said you
the
were
beginning. Like, he's never called me that many times. He called me like 7 times. I think I counted.
Uh-huh.
Sunday, trying to come over. In the beginning, he called me trying to come over because he was hungry and he wanted to come and eat whatever I cooked the night before. And I was pissed off because we missed the game the night before, so I was starved. Is what I was thinking.
Right.
So he called me a couple more times, and then he ended up telling me he was in Virginia. A nephew had a basketball game. I don't know. He's a man. He could have been lying about that too. I don't know, but he kept calling. Wherever he was, he kept calling. And it was... I have to check on my phone. I don't remember. I know it was after midnight when he finally got there.
If you don't have to remember a specific time, I'm just generally trying to piece together Sunday.
But from after midnight, he was at my place. He stayed at my place until like 6:30 the next morning.
Okay. And there was never any conversations between the two of you about him owing somebody money, having a disagreement with someone.
As far as I knew, Eric didn't have any
angry
money
woman,
problems.
Anything at all?
Mm-mm.
Do you know of any other
If it was
girlfriends
an
he had?
angry woman, I know Eric was a ladies' man because when we first started hanging out, it wasn't like we were trying to date each other. It wasn't like that. He would answer the phone. He would hang up on people. I heard that. I witnessed that. So I'd call him lady, lover boy or something. He hated it, but I mean, that's what it was. And then we ended up being interested in one another. And he ended up pursuing me. Like, you can look at, I don't care. You can look at it. Like, Eric called me far more than I ever called him.
Right.
It's like,
What was the plan when you moved? Were you guys still going to see each other sometimes and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was supposed to help me move.
Right, I remember you saying
He was
that.
talking more about it than I was.
Right.
So
Were there any males in the building that he was friends with that you know of, or
he was
knew?
friendly with everyone. I mean, there was so many people that would be on the 15th floor watching the game. He talked to everybody.
Was there some people more than others at the 15th floor that he seemed to be closer to? Because, I mean, we're just trying to figure out anybody at all we can talk to that might shed some little piece of information that can help us.
I don't know. Just look at his phone and see if he was talking to somebody after I went to bed. I don't know what time the game went off, but we chatted maybe 20, 30 minutes, went to bed. An hour later, he was back up I don't know if he was on the phone with someone. He told me he was on the computer for a while. I don't check his computer, check his phone.
Did he say what he was doing on the computer? Was it?
He calls it going to work because he has the staffing company that he was trying to start. So he does whatever he does on the computer with that, sometimes. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's dating online. I don't know. Check the computer. But yeah, he was a ladies' man. Could have been some angry women. Yeah. He's keeping me happy. It is what it is.
Well, my part of it is like forensic part, and that's why I was asking about the food, because one thing we're gonna do is do the fingerprints and all that stuff. So at some point, have you ever been fingerprinted before? For a job? At some point, maybe not now, but we might need elimination fingerprints from you, because there's going to be a ton of fingerprints in this apartment. So we'll eliminate people that belong in his apartment, and hopefully find a print of somebody that doesn't belong, like the 420 guy. He would have touched a bottle of wine, right?
Eric, definitely.
Eric.
I didn't touch his wine.
What did his glass look like? Because there was, I think, several glasses there.
Yeah.
Was one of them yours?
No, I brought my wine. You asked me this.
Right. No,
day.
I mean, like,
I brought my wine
and you
glass.
took it back.
Yes.
When did you take
I'm
it
not
back?
lying. Like,
No,
you
when
asked
did
me
you?
anything. I
Like,
just
when
feel
did
like
you?
you guys want to catch me in something.
No, when did you take it back?
When I left.
Like when?
The morning when I left. Like, I don't understand what you're asking me.
But what was the glass?
The glass was in the bedroom.
It was in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay, you took the glass with you in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
like, everything comes into the bedroom with me.
Okay.
My clothes, my purse.
We're just trying to get a sense of what it looked like when you left as compared to what it looked like when we got there, so we know what's out of place.
And I don't know.
That's like the girl. We initially thought that was weird that the girl was in the kitchen, but you explained it that the girl was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, like, to us that looked weird.
Right.
But we had no idea.
It was weird to me too.
Right.
I thought it would be better in the bedroom.
So that's something we asked the question because you were familiar with the layout.
Yeah.
Is that where she was, or did the killer move that? You know, if something looks out of place, we have to find out why, and if it's involved with what happened. So that's why we ask these weird questions.
Because we do unfortunately we don't have a video camera in the apartment, so we don't know what would it look like before.
When the guy went in the closet and did the dryer thing, do you have a sense of how much time he spent in the closet? Did it seem like he was looking around in there and stuff, or getting into things, or was it just a...
He wasn't in there a long time. Just long enough for somebody to... He tripped on something when he came in, fumbled with something, and then he turned the dryer on. I thought he was putting clothes in the dryer. I don't know.
Right.
And like I said, when I went through to go to the bathroom, there was nothing in the dryer. I didn't see anything in the dryer.
And that was at what time, approximately? Like, I think you said 4-ish?
5, maybe. It was right before I left.
That's
it had
what
to be 5,
caused you to wake up, and
right.
I think you said you couldn't go back to sleep or whatever, and decided to leave. And Eric's out cold at that point, right? Sound asleep.
Yeah.
Do you remember what time Eric finally came back to bed?
4:30. So I asked him what time it was. He said 4:30.
Okay. Didn't say what he'd been doing or where he went or anything like that.
I didn't care. It was 4:30.
Did you have any indication whether he actually left the apartment while you were sleeping and came back?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, we told you when we were watching him, and when I told you, like, it's cool, like, initially, remember I said don't go back, but then I said it's cool for you. We ended up arresting him, actually. How sure are you that, is he the same guy? I know the 420 guy is the one that sold you weed. How sure are you that he's the guy?
No one sold me weed.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't even know if he sold Eric weed.
Yeah,
Eric gave him $60.
You two together, like, that's what I mean. I don't mean you.
Sorry, it's been a
long 4 days. We've been
and I didn't even see him give Eric weed. Eric gave him $60. Okay. I only know that because Eric said that's 60.
All right, so when you go over there to the apartment on Oak Leaf, the guy, the picture that you saw, right? Is he the guy that was at the Oak Leaf apartment, or is he the guy that's in Eric's apartment, or both? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Like I said before, I saw his profile. When he was going back in the building, I turned and looked, and that I described the guy to you before you brought the picture into the room. So when you brought the picture in here, that looked like the guy. I think I saw the profile picture first, It looked like the guy, except he had more hair on your picture. It looked like him. The face shot.
So again, the guy had more hair now?
No,
or
on
the
your
guy in
picture.
the picture had more
Right,
hair. Okay.
and he said it was an old picture. I said, it looks like him, except there's more hair. I didn't know if you had already arrested the guy that day.
Right,
I didn't
no,
know. I said, he has too much hair. He didn't have that much hair. And he said, well, it's an old picture. Okay. All I saw in the apartment was a profile. Because Eric opens the door and the guy goes by. That's all I saw. It looked like the same person to me.
Okay.
That's why I was thinking it's weird. Like, why is he here now when we were just there, you know, a couple of hours ago? Why is he here? I don't know. I've never seen him in the apartment. Looks like a guy I've seen on the 15th floor. More than once. So, I don't know. I can't say for sure.
Are you tired today?
I'm very tired.
You
I've been crying
I know.
I
can tell because
all morning.
You seem a lot like yesterday. I don't know if it hasn't hit you, but today you seem a lot more like defensive. I don't know why.
I didn't know he got shot. I didn't know he got. I did not know.
Well, you didn't ask.
I did. I asked you what happened, and this is stuff that was in the news, like.
But we still don't know what happened. Like, how can I tell you what happened if I don't know what happened?
You knew he was shot. I mean, I understand.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you meant that. Yeah, I don't know if you meant that. Like, when you said what happened, it was such an open-ended question that I didn't know whether you meant, was he shot, was he stabbed, was he, beat? Like,
and I'll tell you something else about that. The way people are murdered is something that we never want to release to the public. And that was something that our media people screwed up.
I'm very intelligent. Please understand.
We see that.
I'm very intelligent. I understand you can't just tell me, blah, 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 he was shot, he was in the hallway on the floor. You can't tell me that, because what if I'm guilty and I come in and I say, yeah, he was shot on the floor in the hallway.
But seriously, I don't know what you meant. When you said what happened, I thought it was
it was in the news. I didn't even know it was in the news.
And that's what I'm telling you.
I don't watch the news.
We're pissed off that got in the news.
I Googled it, and then
nobody's supposed to know that.
It said at least one gunshot. So
somebody outside of our
office,
somebody outside of our office released that information, and that just hinders our investigation. You know what I mean? Do you remember what clothes Eric was wearing that night?
Eric had on some gray, almost shiny pants. They were kind of well fitted.
Shorts or long pants?
They were long pants.
Okay.
The tan, like moccasin-like shoes. I don't know what they call them.
Mm-hmm.
We call them moccasin shoes in the South. And his shirt, I think it was colorful, like blue or something.
Like a polo or a button-up or...
A button-up.
Button-up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Long sleeve, short sleeve, do you remember?
I think it was long sleeve.
And that is when you guys were watching the game and all that?
No, that's when we got ready to go. Because when we were watching the game, he just walks around in his boxers and I think he had on like blue t-shirt.
Okay.
His briefs and like these blue shorts that probably come to his knees is what he usually wears in the house.
Okay. And at 2:30 or so, when you wake up and you see the guy, what's he wearing then? Same thing or something?
He had the shorts and the t-shirt.
Okay. And then how about at 4:30, whenever he comes back to bed?
When he gets in the bed, he takes it off. He had on underwear.
Okay.
Why do you think he was so cool with this dude? Like,
it was cool with everybody. He's cool with
that's why
everybody.
we asked you whether there were other people in his apartment before. Where have you seen it where he would let some dude like stay in there, like with his girl, or
No.
So no idea why he was so cool with this dude, and let him kind of stay.
It was uncomfortable for me because I didn't know the guy.
That's what's the weirdest thing for us is he's got you. You know, you guys are hanging out.
Yeah, and I actually said, and then do I need to go or something like that? Because I heard him saying he had to go to the ATM. He was like, no, he's cool. I'll do this in the morning. He didn't want me to leave. Like I started to leave then. He didn't want me to go.
Right.
But
so it leads us to believe that it's somebody that he knows pretty well if he's comfortable to have him
there. Yeah, he got in the bed and he went to sleep.
And
so I would think so too.
Right. So that's where we're really at a loss. And that's why we're like trying to really press to find out other people he knows and hangs out with and all that stuff. Did he ever bring any of his boys around you?
Mm-mm. No.
Do you remember any phone calls he made, like say after midnight that night? Because there's a couple like unknown numbers that we're trying to figure out who they were. Yeah.
Midnight. I don't know. The last call that I remember was the wheel or the whip guy, whatever his name is, the one that looks like the guy in the picture.
And
I went to sleep after sex, so he might have been up on the phone. I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Can you send me? Remember you said there's a way for you to send me those text messages because we can match it up with the phones, and at least that'll give us a better timeline. Can you do that? I mean, you know, just whenever. Okay. Do you need my email for that? Or how does that work? Yeah. Do you have one of my cards? Oh, well, my email's on the bottom. Oh, you seem so almost out of it.
Have you been able to talk to anybody?
Talked to my agent this morning. Talked to my dad last night. Last night. What is today? Monday.
Oh, your agent.
Saturday night, I talked to my agent to tell them I was leaving the keys with you guys.
Right.
Finally told my dad Saturday night. Dad's 64, you know. Doesn't need to be scared and worried about me. But now he is.
Well, we got the 420 guy, which is good.
He's been charged with other stuff, not the murder.
And we just don't have enough.
We got him on drug charges.
That's why you're here. We just like. Well, you're not the only person. We brought other people here. Well, they came stop by.
Maybe the girl that he was with Saturday knows more, because
well, that's why we're trying to figure out who she is. All we have is her own video at Society.
Yeah, she looks like I don't want to say heavy set, but like a bigger Hispanic looking female.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't take it like
they may be.
Don't take it personally. Like we're trying to press you or anything. It's like, I know you're tired, but like that's not what we're trying to do. Trust me, that's not.
There might be one little piece of information that we're able to, get you to remember that can.
And it happened before.
That's why, like the conversation they were having. If there's anything specific that might not seem important to you, it might really be important to us.
So with the 420 guy, so I mean the question basically is going to come down to, would you be able to safely say he's the guy or not?
I don't know. I don't want to accuse somebody that didn't do it,
We'll put a percentage on it of certainty.
Could I see him in a lineup so I could see the actual profile of the guy? I don't know.
We may be able to arrange for that. That's actually.
And we're not trying to pin you down to say that was 100% him, but we're just trying to get a sense of the level of certainty that you have.
Because the last thing we want to do is, and that's why he hasn't been charged.
We don't want to charge somebody falsely either, But there's certainly some pretty good reasonable suspicion about him, When have you started at Hopkins yet? When do you start up there?
I start Tuesday. Tomorrow.
So you're done with NIH now for the time being, unless a job comes through. When will you find out about that?
I don't know. I may have to just wait and reapply. I applied for the wrong thing, so I don't know.
So he's on that computer a lot, right?
Yeah.
What kind? Was it the desktop or the laptop?
I have no idea. I've never been in the room, never looked at it.
All right.
I walk in the door, I just walk straight to the couch.
All right.
Is there anything else that you thought of since we talked the other day that?
No.
I'm sure you probably played that night through your mind 100 times.
Over and over again. Especially when I find out I can't make it to work. Yeah.
You going back to Baltimore County from here? All right. Well, actually, I'm glad I was able to prevent you from going to that building that day. Because, like I said, he was on the move. And
the other thing is, I think the management there is fantastic.
Yeah.
They've been really helpful.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know who else saw us walking around with you the other day, so we don't want people talking and stuff like that. So it's better just to meet here. And
We'll actually going back there tonight. Like I said, we'll turn everything. And do they owe you anything or?
No.
All right.
there's a good chance we may need to have you in to talk again as the investigation
That's
goes
fine.
forward.
And like I said, we might have to get your prints too.
My print's gonna be all through there.
Yeah,
They're all in his
that's,
apartment.
That's,
yeah.
That's why we need to. It's easier to streamline who we need to look at by eliminating the people we know should have been in there.
Like we even gonna have like his other friend that's actually coming tonight, I think, because we know he's been in the apartment. Sometimes, I mean, once in a while, depending on how long they live there, we even get like private residence. Because it's just sometimes there's like 100 prints in the apartment, and that's like you gotta go through all that.
You never knew him or he's never talked about or given any indication he used any other drugs, right? Coke or anything like that.
I was surprised about the marijuana.
Right.
Nope.
Did it smell just like marijuana, or was it like, because people smoke dope, boat, all that?
I don't know anything but marijuana. I've
So you
smelled
smell like
marijuana
marijuana.
100 times because I know a lot of people that smoke it.
Sure.
I've never touched it in my life, but I know what it smells like. That's it. It was marijuana. If it had something in it, I don't know, because he was sure sleeping hard as hell. He never sleeps that hard.
Would that be typical for him to like be up that late, like 4 o'clock in the morning?
Eric usually 4 o'clock. No, that's not typical for him.
Especially like on a Monday night. I'm assuming he had to go to work the next morning.
Yeah. Only if we're being active. Yeah, but just I'm usually a night nurse, so I tend to be awake. And sometimes I wake him up if I'm moving, turning over or something. And he's like, "Why are you awake?" He goes right back to sleep. You okay? Everything okay? You need something? He goes right back to sleep. He's not just up. He was restless. He was he seemed kind of restless.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like something was definitely
They make it sound
out of sorts that night for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was like the beginning of the night, he was so excited, like not like him, like unnaturally excited, like he was.
Give me an example of that. What was he doing?
He was just hype. He was just so hype. He was just like, "You ready to have fun tonight?" Of course, I'm always ready to have fun. You're about to watch the game, talking shit. He just, when we left to go to Oakleaf or whatever that was, we went to the ATM. He stopped at the east side of the building first, and then when he came back and was getting ready to pull off, he was like, "Don't talk about my music," and he blasted the radio. He was just driving crazy. Like, I'm surprised we didn't get stopped by the police or have an accident. It was just like he was free as a bird. He was just so hype and excited. I don't know. It was just the whole night he was just excited. Yeah.
Did he make it sound at all he was expecting somebody that night?
No.
No.
Nope.
Did he ever talk about going to Philadelphia?
Nope. Not with me.
Or Jersey or anywhere?
Not with me. Never heard him say that. Eric had a lot going on. I don't know. I'm sorry.
What about at society? Was there anybody there, like either that worked there or hung out there a lot that he was tight with?
I never went to society with him. I go to society with my other friends. I've never gone there with him.
You ever seen him there?
Never seen him there.
That seems like the place to be in downtown Spring.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was there Saturday night. We know that.
Yeah. That's his spot. So I do know he goes there. But I've never seen him there. We've never been there together.
Alright, let me take this. Alright, just give me just one more minute. I'll be right back. Actually, I'll be right back, sir.
So when did it sink in?
Last night.
Really? You're pretty much numb on all day yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah. Very tired now.
I know the feeling. We've been pretty much working around the clock for about a week now. Have you ever lost anyone close to you before?
A sister, but it was a seizure. It wasn't murder.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know anyone that's been murdered.
Gone through any bad breakups?
No, I've never been dumped before. I've had guys that didn't agree with me breaking up with them, but nothing bad, you know.
What other places, states, or towns have you? How often do they move you around for the?
My contracts are 3 months, so I could move every 3 months, or some places I've stayed up to a year.
What's like? I'm still trying to figure out this whole traveling nurse thing. Like, why move people all around the country as opposed to just hiring people in that area?
Because there's a nursing shortage.
Oh, is it really?
So there's not a lot of just some places you don't have enough nurses to do certain things. Like my specialty, there's not a whole lot of nurses. I mean, there are a lot of nurses, but there's a shortage there because it's specialized.
Right.
So
that's it. Where'd you go to school?
Ole Miss.
Oh, you told me that. Did you have a bachelor's or you have a master's too or something?
I have a bachelor's.
In nursing?
Mhm.
Cool. What drew you to oncology?
One of my clinicals I did in school.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So I've loved it since then.
We need good people in that field for sure.
Yeah.
Did you move all your stuff yesterday? When did you get moved out?
I did. When I went back
I
Saturday
just want to show
night,
you one
I got all
picture,
my
okay?
stuff.
And I'll be right back.
Okay. I just got the rest of it when I went back Saturday night. I left my contacts and phone chargers, stuff I just had to have.
Right.
So.
It's hard to be between two places.
Yeah.
Is your new apartment as nice as the building you were in down here?
No, it's nice, but it's different.
Now, how does that work too? Does your agency rent those places?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they cover everything.
Really? You don't have to pay the rent? They pay the rent?
They
Really?
pay the rent.
Wow.
I just pick up a key.
Man, that's great.
Yeah.
That's real good. I'm gonna have to get a nursing degree.
It's been nice to me.
Wow. Hell, that's like making $1,700 extra a month.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you get back to Mississippi to see your family much?
I usually do. I haven't since I've been here. It's just too far to. Whenever I come here, I don't see them that often because it's too far to drive.
Right.
It's just. I plan to go down there maybe next month when I get my schedule settled. At Hopkins, I plan to fly.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the road trip from here to there, so I don't.
Yeah, but how long does it take to drive?
18 hours.
Oh, is it 18?
Yeah.
Wow. Man, that does stink. I have to do 6 hours to Syracuse to see my daughter, and that's plenty long enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Where's the NBA playoff stand now? Is it over or there's another round?
There's another round. This is the finals. It's going to be OKC and the Heat. So they start tomorrow.
Man, I hope OKC wins.
Yeah,
I can't stand the Heat.
I mean, so it'll be good. Eric was a Heat fan, I was an OKC fan, so that would have been good to watch with him.
How'd you become an OKC fan?
I was really a Dallas fan, but OKC last year, they're just a good team. they had so much heart and they played so hard. I felt like they deserved a chance.
And they're not the Lakers or the Heat or the same.
Right. There's just a bunch of a good group of kids. They deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
They play excellent, so they deserve it.
How did you become such a big basketball fan?
I actually started liking basketball and watching in school. I've never been to a basketball game in my life, before the last few years, but when I was in nursing school, someone was watching. This is back when Kobe and Shaq were playing together. They were so cocky that I started watching the basketball games only when the Lakers were playing because I would want whoever was playing them to win.
Just like the Heat now.
Yeah, like it didn't even matter. Like whoever's playing them, I'm going to cheer for them, even if I didn't know the other team, So that's how I got into basketball. Yeah.
Did you ever play?
Mm-mm.
Really?
I was never interested in sports all throughout elementary, high school, college, never. Yeah. Just the end of nursing school.
Did you go to many games when you were at Ole Miss?
I never did.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Were you there when Michael Orr was there?
No. It's two different campuses. I didn't go to school at that campus. I went to the medical school, the medical campus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Ravens fan, so big Michael Orr fan. Got my Ravens purple on today.
I see. Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at some scene photos and stuff too. This is the girl that was with him at the Society Lounge. Okay. I just want to see, maybe she looks familiar, maybe she's been in the building, anything like that. That's, I guess, him. Remember the hat? Because we could see him, basically, he comes up with her. I mean, it's clearly, we could see that he's with her. Mm-hmm. Then he says hi to one of these two girls, I think. Mm-hmm. And then they go and sit down, so we know they're together. She looked,
I don't even remember that hat. Have I seen that hat? I don't think I...
No.
He's got a lot of stuff.
I mean, we know it's him because he paid with
credit card. He has the white pants. I know those pants.
But this girl doesn't look familiar, not in the building.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen her. Mm-mm.
Alright.
Yeah, that's him. I don't know if I've seen that hat or not. I've never been through his closet or anything.
Alright.
He likes hats on the back.
Alright. And another thing I looked at was the scene photos, because again, the reason we kind of were asking you about the scene is because we don't know what was in there. Mm-hmm. There's some people that's been to his apartment that spoke with that gave us some, but you were the most detailed one. Alright, so we sprayed this chemical that would tell us if stuff was moved, let's say a thing was here, like a couch was here, was moved, or let's say if his wallet was on a particular surface, it might show us the shape and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, what were we gonna say?
You were asking if he carried a wallet. I've never seen him with a wallet. Like I said, when I come, there's usually just cash, not a lot of cash, a couple dollars laying on the counter. There wasn't that night. But he was missing a credit card. So.
What do you mean? He said, I'm missing a credit card?
He was I can't find my card. He was just looking for his card. And that made me uncomfortable. I'm okay, let's find this card, because I'm in your apartment. Let's find this card.
Right.
He's like, no, it's in here somewhere. And I said, did you just use it downstairs? Is that what you bought your stuff with? He was like, yeah.
Yeah, yes, or yeah, maybe?
He said yeah, but he wasn't sure. He had another card because he went to the ATM with the card.
Okay.
I don't know. He just seemed like he was the card was really missing because he looked for it for a minute. And I was kind of thinking, because like I said the night before, Saturday, he doesn't cancel an OKC game with me, So I figured he might have had a hot date. So I'm like, who was in his apartment who took his card, But when I asked if he used the card that day to get his food and stuff he had, he said yeah, but kind of not really sure, yeah.
So the wallet, so you said he doesn't carry a wallet usually.
I've never seen a wallet.
Did you guys
doesn't mean
go
he
out
doesn't.
on a date, a dinner or something, where he would have paid? Do you remember, did he pull out just his credit card, or did he pull a wallet out?
I don't know what he did.
Because we've seen certain patterns that may look like a wallet. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
And that's, we've seen patterns, we can't say, okay, so it's a pattern like that, maybe it's a wallet. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why we gotta look like, okay, if you could tell us maybe that's where he puts his wallet, maybe we can say, okay, this maybe.
I've never seen a wallet.
Okay. But it wouldn't have been like anywhere in the bedroom. Like he wouldn't have left it. Like phone. Remember I asked you about the phone?
There's nothing to put his stuff on. Like my stuff, when I bring my stuff in the bedroom, I just lay it on the floor.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know. His apartment.
So nothing was removed with thinking then, as far as like furniture. You know, that would make sense.
He doesn't have a lot of furniture.
Right. Phone, like, would it be on the floor? Where would it?
I have no idea. I don't know. I've never used his phone. I've never looked for his phone.
Okay. And I guess your wine, where would that be?
My wine, again, is in my apartment.
No, I mean like wine glass. Sorry, I should have said
my wine glass was with me. When I'm watching TV, it's sitting on top of whatever that is to the right side of the couch.
And
I don't know it's light, so I don't know if it's one of the little cheap tables or if it's an upside down box. I kind of thought it was an upside down box. Yeah. So that's where I put my wine glass. I sit on that side.
It would have like a round pattern on the bottom.
Yeah, it's actually my little cup I got from Linganore Wine Festival. It's a little short cup. I usually have an actual wine glass that I bring, which would still have a round pattern. But that one does. It had a round pattern, bottom pattern too.
The one that night.
Maybe about that big around.
Than a typical wine glass.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been to that festival too.
Yeah, so that's what I had when I was there Monday night.
All right. Okay, and where else would it be?
That's it.
Okay. I thought you
where else would my wine glass be?
Yeah.
That's the only place I said it.
All right. Wait. Didn't you say you took it in the bedroom?
Yeah.
So where would it be in the bedroom?
On the floor, to the right side of the bed. That's where I put all my stuff. Like when I'm in the front, we're watching the game, all of my stuff, like my purse, if I bring my phone, if I have my keys, everything is there. But when I go into the bedroom, so that I don't go through, because I leave at 5-something, 6 o'clock in the morning, so I don't go to his apartment collecting stuff.
Right.
I bring all my stuff and I lay it by the bed.
So
the wine glass is...
As long as it's on the carpet, I mean, there's going to be a round pattern there.
Yeah.
Anything else that your purse would be sitting there?
My purse would be there.
So we should have a purse. Is it this purse?
No, it was maybe a little bit smaller than this one.
Okay.
I think what purse I had that night. I change purses like every day. This isn't the purse I had the other day when I was here.
It's kind of like so hard for us to picture the. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see shapes, but we have no idea what it is.
Yeah. The purse I had the other day was like this size. I think the one I had that night was a little smaller.
And you're closer to the closet.
Yeah, I sleep by
so it'll be next to you. What else would it be on the floor? What else would?
My clothes. He had some clothes in the corner too.
Clothes probably won't leave impressions, but okay. Clothes like jeans and t-shirts.
My keys.
Phone?
I didn't bring my phone that night.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keys, my purse, the glass, my clothes, my shoes, my flip-flops.
What about, do you know what's on the other side?
No idea. Probably some clothes. He always had clothes on the floor. I have a blouse in there somewhere. I've been asking him for it. Just disappeared. Took it off and disappeared.
And when you came out, well, you don't spend that much time, but you don't see anything unusual in other places. Like I know the box of, what do you call it? I'm sorry, I'm tired. The vacuum cleaner is there. That's a little unusual.
That was unusual. I had never seen that before that night, and actually he borrowed my vacuum Saturday.
Does he still have it?
Oh no.
Oh, you got it back.
Yeah. The box was there Saturday. No, the box was there. I didn't go there Saturday. The box was there Monday. Yeah, because he was at my place Sunday. The box was there Monday. I've never seen the box before. I don't know if it's been in another room. I've never seen it in his bedroom. Never seen it in the closet. I don't go in the front room, so I don't know if it's been there. But I was able to move it easily, so I didn't think anything was in it. I didn't really look at the box, but I just thought it was a vacuum. I guess the little shape I saw. I didn't really focus on it, but I just thought he had bought a vacuum. I don't know. But it was kind of in the way, and we walked around it all night. So I don't know. But he told me before he even started using my vacuum that he had a vacuum that was in his car. I was under the impression that he had borrowed a vacuum from someone else.
Okay.
And I don't know what's going on with the vacuum box. I don't know.
Anything else that didn't belong when you entered or left?
Mm-mm.
How about in the bathroom? Because you said the guy used the bathroom, didn't wash his hands. Was there anything that looked out of place or anything in there?
Eric had some towels and stuff. There was a pile of stuff like on the left side of the counter, but there's always stuff there. He doesn't clean up that often.
Anything else unusual in the bathroom or that looked like? Did you use the bathroom before you went to bed?
Mhm.
When you left?
I used the bathroom like after the game went off, right after the game went off, and I used the bathroom before I left.
And when you left, do you recall anything that looked different in the bathroom from the time you went? You
I
used it
wasn't.
before bed.
I wasn't looking for anything, but I didn't notice anything.
Nothing stood out.
Mm-mm.
And you said the dryer's running?
Yeah,
Because
the
the guy
dryer
turned
was
on the
on.
dryer. As you're leaving, can you hear it still running?
I'm pretty sure it was running because it was running when I went through the bathroom. I mean, through the closet into the bathroom, and I just went back in. It was still running. Kissed Eric, went out, and just left. So
Did you see anything in the dryer?
no, I didn't see anything. That was weird to me. I'm
Meaning
like, I didn't
it's
see
running
anything.
without anything.
Yeah, I didn't see
Is
anything.
the light on in the dryer when it runs, or how did you see it?
We have the same dryer. It has to be. The light had to be on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and not definitely
I didn't
nothing
see
in there.
anything in the dryer. I don't know if there was something very tiny that I couldn't see, a sock, a towel. I don't know why he turned the dryer on at that time in the morning. I thought it was a little rude. We're trying to sleep. We both have to get up and go to work. I don't know about him, but we have to get up and go to work. He's doing laundry at whatever time it was in the morning, 5 o'clock. I just thought that was a little rude. So I was like, let me just get up and go, you know. I didn't see anything in the dryer.
But you definitely passed the dryer, didn't stop the dryer.
I didn't stop the dryer.
Right.
I mean, I didn't see anything. But I mean, I didn't stand there and do this
Right,
either.
right.
But just walking by, I didn't see anything in the dryer worth turning the dryer on at 5 o'clock in the morning for. You know, I
Right.
didn't see anything.
That is really weird.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought so too. I'm like, why the hell is the
I mean,
dryer on?
this whole story, like the guy, like he had to trust the guy, and for the dude to turn on his dryer, help himself, and for Eric not even minding it, like
Yeah, Eric didn't even wake up. He didn't even wake up.
like you know what I mean? It's just weird.
Yeah.
Is the dryer loud?
Loud enough to wake you up. Yeah.
Plus, you didn't hear a washer before that, right?
No, there was no washer. The washer definitely would have woke me up. There was no washer.
No other noises you can think of, turning on other appliances or nothing like that.
The radio was playing in the bedroom. We sleep with the radio on.
The radio was on.
Mhm.
I know it was one of those iPod type radios, right? The tower.
Mhm.
Was there an iPod in it? How was it playing?
I think it actually was the radio that was playing. I'm not familiar with those little iPod things, so I think there was one on top.
You think there was?
If it wasn't just the top of the it's a whatever it was, because I was looking to see what time it was, but it wasn't the time on it. It was like
What color was it?
it was like a blue light.
A blue light on top of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that may have been the iPod. I don't know how that works.
I think the blue on it is actually
the part of the radio.
part of the radio, but there's
well,
like a
maybe
thing there for the iPad.
There's something sticking up. There was something
Really?
sticking up. So I don't know. I thought what I saw, I think it was a blue light. I thought it was going to tell me the time because I didn't want to wake Eric up again. Because usually if I have my phone, I just look at my phone and see what time it is. I didn't have my phone. So
How are you
I
gonna
asked
get?
him,
How are you gonna get up in the morning?
I was going to get out.
No, get up like in the morning, like
Get up.
without an alarm.
Oh, that's what I do. I just ask him what time it is. What time is it? What time is it? Like I wake up. I'm usually a night nurse, so I wake up naturally, during the night.
The whole night shift, huh?
Well, since I've been here, I've been doing days, but I'm usually a night nurse, so I'm up throughout the night regardless. But he doesn't have a clock in his room, so I just ask him what time it is, and he tells me.
What other lights were on, if any?
I don't think there are any other lights on.
completely dark when you left?
Um, TV might have been on. I know I turned the light out in the bathroom because I accidentally, every time I go in there, I turn on the wrong light. Like the first switch, I think, turns the light on in the closet. So I have to turn it off and then turn the light on. But I turned the light off.
In the bathroom?
Yeah.
So the light would have been on.
Light should have been off. Like I turned the light off myself when I used the bathroom because I turned.
Okay,
I turned the closet light on.
Uh-huh.
Accidentally trying to turn the bathroom light on. Because I walk in the bathroom and I just do this, and I think the first switch is for the.
But as you're leaving, what, like, I guess, I think that's what he's at. Like, as you're leaving, the lights are off, on or on?
I don't remember if the bedroom light's definitely off. Closet and bathroom lights are off. I don't remember any lights being on.
What kind of lights in the bedroom?
I don't even know if there is a light in the bedroom. Maybe we just use the closet light. I don't remember ever.
Okay.
Yeah. When we go in the bedroom, we didn't really turn the lights on.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't even know if there is a light in the bedroom. Could just be using because the closet door is usually open, but I always tell him to close I like it dark. All lights out, TV off, radio on, doors closed, blinds closed. So maybe he doesn't even have. I don't remember a lamp or anything in the room. Yeah.
Anything else that stands out? I know we're not.
You guys can ask me.
We're not so like pressing you. Trust me, we've been working on it since.
Our brains.
We like just trying to throw anything at you that you can think of.
I know it's gonna be hard to watch that game.
Yeah.
I think he was the one.
Eric, I think he was the one for me. Actually, no. But he was trying to convince me that he was the one.
Really?
That's why I was like, I don't know. I mean, we got closer and closer. We were very close. But I knew he was a ladies' man. But the things he would say was like he was trying to convince me to be with him. And I was like, I don't even know how he really feels. So when he just stopped answering calls and stopped responding to texts, I just thought, hey, he's just doing what he does.
What was he saying? Was he trying to talk about marriage and all that? Or?
Yeah, I talked about future and all the stuff that we could do together. And
because that's kind of the same thing he was telling his family about you. I guess maybe that's why he's saying it.
And see, that was just, I don't know, when I heard him talking to his brother on speakerphone that night, and he said what he said, the girl I've been, my beautiful girl, whatever he said, that I've been telling you about. I was kind of thinking, what has he been telling him about me? Because I want to believe him. I mean, he's a good guy, but I knew he was a ladies' man. I'm not stupid.
Did he ever tell you about any kids he had?
He told me he didn't have kids. He has kids?
I don't know if he does or not.
Oh, he told me he didn't have kids. He was like, you don't have kids? I don't have kids. Yeah, he was like, he said it would be perfect. You don't have kids. I don't have kids. I'm like 30 days older than you. And he was just so, he even said, I bet I think about you more than you think about me. He always said stuff like that. He was just, I don't know. Anytime, I just know he wasn't used to, girls flock to him. He's used to
that's what we've heard.
Girls sweating him. Yeah, and I didn't do that. So I think that's what got him, because he's not used to that. So yeah, I know he's a ladies' man.
I think I asked you before if you ever seen him with a gun. I can't remember if I did or didn't.
He told me, see, in his stories that he was telling me about, I've never seen him with a gun, no. But he was telling me stories about the past and, how he used to get in fights and stuff. Like I was saying, he was telling me about a story about him and a girl, and the girl scratched him, his mama got mad. He was telling me, he was like, I'm always careful around the ladies, but I'm really a little ghetto. He was like, I used to like pull out guns, and, it was just totally not what I would have thought of him, but I was thinking that was the past,
Did you believe him, or you think he was talking shit?
I believed him. Yeah.
Did he talk about anybody else he knew that had a gun? Did any gun conversation at all that you can recall might be?
Everything, the only thing he said about, that was just one conversation, and it was like talking about the past.
Did he say what kind of gun he had?
Mm-mm.
What kind of gun he pulled out?
Mm-mm.
Never mentioned whether he had a gun in the apartment, like for safety or protection
Nope.
or anything like that.
Not at all.
And I don't know if I asked you before or not. If someone was to get in the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
How? What do you think? Like, how would they get in without being
Either
noticed?
someone would let them in, or they would come in through. They have to come in through the front. You can only get in through the front, or if you're a resident, one of the levels in the garage, because you have to have the little thing to scan in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, when someone's going through the door, they just hold the door open for whoever's behind them.
That's
But
all, yeah,
even
that's
I
all.
live there, and they know me. I can't even get in without, like, I've locked myself out twice and didn't have my little key ring, and I have to push the button and say, "Can you please let me in? This is Trina. I'm in 1105." You know.
And they just trust you.
Yeah. Well, they let
Or
me
they
in.
can see you.
I still have to. You know,
Right,
even
right.
they know me. I still have to.
But I mean, they
get on
hear
the
your voice.
speaker.
How would they know it's you?
They can see you. It's
Okay.
right there. It's glass door.
Oh, you
They
mean
can see-
if the concierge is there.
Right. They can see you.
Because
But-
sometimes because we have to get in and we're like,
Yeah, and
let's
even
in.
one of the ladies that work there that sees me all the time when I used to go out the front door before I started parking up. When I first moved there, I didn't know about I could park on the roof. I didn't know about that. So I used to go out, probably the first couple of weeks I worked there, I used to go out in and out the front door. And I locked myself out and came in probably 4 o'clock in the morning. And she sees me almost every day. And I had to go through this and then go to my apartment, pull out my ID. I mean, the whole. I'm like, lady, really? You
Pretty
see me?
secure place, huh?
Yeah, you talk to me every day, and you're gonna act like you don't never see me. And the next morning, she was like, "Oh, now I know you. Bitch, you knew me yesterday, you know." But anyway, so yeah, if somebody gets in, they have to, unless they come in on one of the other levels, somebody just lets them in. They have to come in through the front.
No, and that's why we were asking you if you knew anybody in the building like that.
If I knew
No,
anybody,
if he knew anybody in the building like that, where, you know.
Otherwise,
what?
he would have had to let somebody in.
Yeah. Like
like that sells weed.
No. Just in general.
Whoever,
knows a lot of
whoever the
people.
dude was,
Mm.
it sounds like he would have either had to let in the building or the guy already lives there.
And see, that's why I was confused because the guy looks like somebody that I usually see on 15. So I was like, I don't know if he lives in the building, but then
You
he's
think
on
this guy would be on
Oakleaf,
15
so
during the championship games?
that's the only time I saw him is during the games. Because that's the only time I went is to watch the game on the
And he
big
had the
screen.
same kind of scruffy beard.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the beard in the apartment?
Yeah, it just looked like the same profile I saw on
Yeah.
the Oakleaf place.
So the beard you definitely seen.
That's why I thought it was the same person.
Because see, that's the thing. I mean, if let's say, and I'm not trying to tell you to say it, but like if you were like that's the same guy, then we don't, we can't. Then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're not sure, we got to come up with maybe there's a possibility that another guy came in. You know what I mean? Skinny guy. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
And that's why we're trying to think of anybody that could potentially live in the building that he may have let in.
Do you remember a specific game you saw that guy on the 15th floor?
I remember the Pacers were playing, and I've never watched the Pacers play before, and I remember him being excited about the Pacers game.
The sketchy guy or Eric?
Both of them.
Both of them.
Look,
So you think the sketchy guy was there during the Pacers game?
I remember because he was like
who were
really
they playing? The Pacers.
I don't remember. It's been a while back.
Wasn't OKC, obviously.
Mm-mm.
Was it a playoff game? Did they even make the playoffs? I haven't been
It was.
following it that
I
close.
think they did. It was like the beginning when it all started. I think when the playoffs first started. I don't know. I'm just saying, making up stuff right now. I don't know. I don't want to make up anything.
How many games did you watch up there?
Quite a few. I don't remember.
Like 10, 20? Just ballpark it.
remember. It's 10. I'm really just guessing.
And do you recall seeing that guy multiple times, or just
I've seen him up there like 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
And was he by himself, or could you tell? Did he ever like get there after you? You could see whether he came in by himself. Or
I think he was by himself.
Was he hanging with anybody there particularly?
Not that I noticed. I mean, people just chat during the games, but
Did him and Eric converse?
Mm-hmm.
Other than like,
Eric
hey,
conversed
what's
with
up,
everybody in there.
They were like having conversation, not just what's up.
Just related to the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And you think it's the 420 guy? Or you know it?
It looks like him.
Looks like him.
Yeah, it looks like him. It had been a while since since I've been up to 15, because we've just been watching the games at his place or my place. So it's been a while. I just remember thinking that scruffy beard. I've seen it before. That skinny guy, scruffy, you know.
And just when you're in the car at the dealer's place, what's he wearing again?
It was definitely blue jeans, and I want to say like a light colored T-shirt, like gray or white or something. I remember the shirt being light colored.
And what about when he's in the apartment, or when someone's in the apartment?
I don't know. All I saw was his face, really, because the door is opening and Eric is coming in as the guy walks by, so it's not like I have time to see what he's wearing.
Is he walking by towards the windows or towards the front door?
Going toward the couch.
Okay.
So you don't remember the clothing?
I don't even think I saw the clothing. It was, yeah, I just, no, I don't remember seeing any clothing. Eric's a big guy, so he's opening the door, he's coming in. I just knew somebody was there. I just saw their head go by.
Did he speak in the car?
The guy? Yeah. Yeah, they were speaking code.
No accent, right?
Accent?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And he definitely got in the car?
He got in the car and he closed the door. No, he got in the car and he closed the door.
Okay.
But everything happened before, like, his interior lights went out. It was real quick.
What was the code? Do you remember any specific codes?
Hell no. It was street slang. I'm not that cool. I don't know what the hell they were talking about, but Eric gave him $60. I remember 420 when we went through the gate. It was just real fast talk, just, wasn't meant for me to understand, I guess.
Will you email me those messages so we can get the dates and time? Or we'll know the date, the times.
You want all of our messages, or from the day?
Because what happens is once you get your message, we can actually track him. You know what I mean? Like where he was. As far as like towers and stuff like that.
Okay.
So if we know the text came at, let's say 12:48, we can hit his phone 12:48. Okay, he was here or he was there.
No, like all the messages in my phone, like even from like 3 weeks ago, or you want from that day, like the day before.
Just give me like a couple of days. Is that cool?
At least can you go back to like Thursday when you started the story, and that will help us.
Okay.
Because we know, like I said, when you texting him, if he's like at the society lounge, we could see who he's with and all that. It'll help us build a little bit. You know what I mean? Because once we know he received the text,
some of these are little.
We don't care about that. We just need. It's basically more so for the times, because once we know he received the text, we could, pinpoint it. Just
cool.
We don't care about the content.
Okay. I only sent one nasty one. It's been a while back, so I don't think it's going to be in the time frame. Nasty as in freaky, not nasty as in mean.
If it makes it easier, we can actually, if you want, we can download it, and that way you don't have to do it. Like we can.
No, I can. There's a way I can print it. I've printed some text before.
It just makes it faster, and that way we don't even go by the content, and the download application can like do date and time and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't know about how to do all that.
Well, no, you wouldn't do it. That computer guy just connects it to the thing and just downloads it.
I don't care. You guys can get the text. I don't care.
And just one more time, and just to the best of your recollection, I'm not trying to influence you in any way. What level of certainty do you feel 420 guy was the guy in the apartment?
I would say like 90%. It looked like the same person to me.
Okay.
If I didn't get that's the only time I saw him. It's like when he went by.
Okay. All right. Do you need anything? You want to drink of water or anything? All right, I guess he's checking on the computer guy. So you don't want any water?
Yeah, fine.
I checked with a computer guy. We would actually have to take it to his office.
He can't have my phone.
Right. I mean,
have personal information in my phone.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And that takes time too, because sometimes they can bring the equipment here, but he asked like if it's like a flip phone they can download, but with like these computer phones, they gotta do it at the office.
Okay.
I
can print the text. You just need the time.
Or you know what? Or I can. How about I take a picture? And then you don't have to. Is that cool?
Yeah,
I'll just bring my. Hold on 1 second. I'll bring my camera, just like what I did last time.
Did you eat lunch yet today?
I actually did. I ate something on the way here.
I'm starving.
Had some Chick-fil-A. It was pretty good.
I love Chick-fil-A. You ever get their milkshakes?
I eat the same thing every time I go. I didn't know they had milkshakes.
Oh my God, you gotta get their milkshake. They're the best milkshakes.
I get like chicken nuggets and lemonade.
Now, are you familiar with Baltimore at all, or is it a new scene for you?
Oh yeah, I've been there before. I've worked at Hopkins before. I've lived in the same complex I'm in now. It's pretty cool. Just different from Viridian.
There's a lot of young people in the complex you're in now, or is it mixed?
It's variety. It's variety.
Viridian seems like the hip place to be, man.
It is. It was nice. Yeah. So can you guys not reach this girl? Because apparently he had to be talking to her on Friday and Saturday.
We haven't gone through all his phone activities, and right now we don't know who she is. I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah.
People getting phones and taking people's phones and stuff like that.
Is this Android?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said Android, and he was like, nah, dude, we can't just download it.
So, okay, we go back to Thursday. Oh, you text a lot on Thursday.
Alright, good. That will give us more locations.
Okay, this starts right here. That is the 13th.
Sorry. Hopefully it's not one of those phones that will go out like in dark. Give my app, check it out.
All right, so that's Wednesday. This starts Thursday right here. Eric started it off.
And what we'll do is like, I'll let you scroll and we'll do it one at a time because I'll get the, where's the date and time? Oh, underneath it. So I'll scroll. So we can get that one to the very top. Maybe a little more. Just one more. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Alright. So we'll take that XO up top. That's good.
Oh, and on Thursday, he was late, so I forgot about that. He said, I guess you decided to rain check. Because when he came in, I was pissed because he was late for the game. I don't know if I told you guys that already. I was pissed because he was late for the game. So when he came in and told me he was there, which I could go to the call log, that's 11:12. I can go to the call log and show you when he called me to tell me he
Yeah,
was
you know
there.
what? That would be good too because we might take pictures of the call log.
Yeah.
Because that will give us more dates and times that his phone's on.
So I didn't go to his place immediately. I made him wait. And he texted me saying, I guess you decided to rain check.
When you were calling him past that day, was the phone ringing or was it going to voicemail?
It was going straight to voicemail.
Alright.
It was going straight to, I even like asked him why I was going straight to voicemail in one of my texts. But I've blocked people before and the phone doesn't ring, but it just goes straight to
This
voicemail.
stop? Because I think I already did that one.
That's the last one. So I don't know if you got it, the whole thing or not.
Yeah, I think no, let me see.
But,
Yeah, I did.
okay, so call log. I don't know what I was just talking about.
Is your call, can you get the call log, I guess, does it go in order or how does that work?
Oh, God. Yeah, it's in order. It just called. I'm sorry. I'm like shaking.
It's okay.
All right. So.
Well, today is just now. Okay. We'll go June 6th. Bring that up. I guess the red one means like blue is incoming or
The arrow going to the phone picture is him calling me. So he called, the red, he called me, but I didn't answer. Let me just be sure. Yeah. See, like all of this is all him calling me. Like he called me all day.
Yeah, that's it. Do you have, I don't know.
I thought you just wanted to Thursday.
No, that's, I mean, we might still be able to look at his phone actually past that. Wait, these are incoming?
The arrow going toward the phone picture here is him calling me. So the arrow going away from the phone picture here is me calling him.
This is Sunday, May 27th. Oh, we're going down.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I thought you wanted to go to Thursday.
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. So this is going back to the.
Yeah, we started from the last call.
Okay,
It's just
gotcha.
that
Yeah,
Friday
it's in reverse.
I called him every day this week. I didn't know this happened, so I was still calling. So.
All right. And do you have somebody you can hang with? You gonna be all right?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help with work, like letting them know what, like us vouching for if you've got to miss time or anything?
No, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm cool. Thank you, though.
And then IH is squared too. With, you don't need anything on that end.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. If you need anything from us, you have my cell.
Okay.
Call us, please. Again, please don't take it that we like don't believe you or anything like that. We do like 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of TV, so I'm like,
I mean, we're not like, yeah.
Tell me
I mean,
again how the story
No,
went
we're
that
not.
day.
I mean, maybe we'll come through like that because we're naturally suspicious or whatever. But we like, there's no doubt in my mind that it is what it is. It's just.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't put myself there, you know.
Right. I mean, it's just a weird enough story that we gotta be like, why is he letting this dude in? It's not like, and maybe we're projecting it on you. You know what I mean? Like. We're not questioning
he was
you.
just like he was cool. He
Right.
said he's cool. It's cool. I'll just take him.
Yeah, we're not.
He thought he thought it was
When
cool.
we go back through our notes and stuff for the first time we talked, we might say we should have asked more about this.
Yeah.
You know, let's ask, and that's why I say we'll probably bring you back down here again at some point as the thing progresses and we have come up with more questions or want more detail about a certain aspect of that night. So.
Okay.
And we probably will need your prints just because I'm sure your prints are there.
Yeah, they're there.
Right.
So we don't want to have an unknown and not know it's you.
And we don't want our lab guys wasting their time analyzing your prints when
Yeah.
you know we've got all these prints to look at. If we know that you get them out of the way, so we can focus on the unknowns.
Alright, but that it doesn't have to be. I mean, I'll call you. And then if you have any questions, again, I'm sorry when you said what happened. I didn't know you specifically. I wanted to know whether he was like how he was killed.
And we wouldn't have told you he was shot anyway, just because what I explained earlier.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that, but then when I saw that it was in the news,
I would have
like,
because it was already released.
You know.
But if it wasn't released like it wasn't supposed to be, I wouldn't have.
Just so you know, his family that read that in the
Yeah.
news too, and that makes us look terrible because we would never release that information.
We didn't even tell the
Somebody
family.
outside this office did.
Oh, they didn't know? Because one of them said the family member
I
found
got a call.
him.
I got a call the next day from his sister, basically expressing the same thing, and I felt horrible because she was like, I can't believe we had to learn about it on the news, and it was
because I was reading some stuff and
I felt horrible because it wasn't. We didn't release it, but it was released.
That's today's. You know, the internet and all that stuff. Yeah. It's so competitive between media. Everybody's out to get their little sources of information and stuff, but it really makes our job harder. We never talk to the press. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, we're just a small part of this whole thing.
So he was saying good things about me, huh?
Definitely was. Alright, well, thank you again. And if you remember anything else, please just maybe if you're sitting around one day. No,
I'll see you, Trina.
Thank you.
I won't.